What's up, everybody? It's Roger Cordemosh. I'm here with Lighted Up Studios, and this is our mobile project we call Roadblock. So this is our team, Lighted Up. That's us, and I will go to the game, make that full screen. So I believe we had all this main menu stuff set up last mission. So you see the buttons go bigger and smaller when you don't click anything. I can adjust the music volume and the sound effects volume, and then I will go into the game. So we have the movement with our the right side of the screen. Oh, and the zombie's gonna kill me. So the zombie can attack us, and we can attack the zombie, but neither of us die. At least I hope neither of us die. And our world is randomly generated, and you see our mini map is working. So we have these trees. This is a oh, I tried to move the camera there. This is a iron. No, this is a stone like repository, basically. Let's see if we have some iron close by. I don't think I see any iron close by. Anyways, just another little hi zombie. It's just another little repository that shows up like that. And then here we have some shrines that will eventually spawn loot, which are randomly generated as well across the map. And then if I go over to one of these repositories, I can hit it, and you can see there's a sound for when you're hitting the repository. And then if I jump, we kind of need to mess with our gravity, obviously. And then if I walk over here, it adds it to the inventory, and also adds it to the screen as if it were in your hand. We don't have hands yet, obviously, but here's our inventory here, and I can move it around to wherever I want, and then it will be in the hotbar. And then if I just look around, and I can place blocks all over the place. And currently we don't have a shrine like our GD suggests, but eventually we will have a shrine here that we'll need to protect with these boxes that we are placing. Let's see what else. Yeah, our mini-map, you saw our movement, our place block. It's on a raycast for the ground, and when it connects with the ground, it will place a block. And then we can also save. So I know I hit the button, and I was thinking like a little save icon would show up, and then it would close, just so it seems like it's taken a while to save it. And then if I hit continue, you'll see I am in that same spot I was. Yeah, I was in that same spot. The blocks don't save as of yet when we place them on the ground. But yeah, that was pretty much everything. So I'll show you some code now. So we'll start with the world generation. So in our previous one, we had the tiles loading. I don't need to go through that. So now we've added the shrines. So here we just have our dictionary of the shrines generated per radius. And then we shuffle our tiles that we've had, and this basically just randomizes the list of tiles so that the shrines randomly generate to a random tile. So if it's within the floored radius, then it will add a radius to the shrine that's generated in there, and then it will, if the shrine's current radius is less than the number of shrines, to spawn, then it will instantiate a new shrine in a random place on the tile. So it'll get the tile size plus and minus, and then it will do a raycast to the ground, and then basically just set that position to the tile. And then our save load manager, we have some save data here that just saves the position, the seed, and our inventory slots. Oh, I didn't show that off. Oh, whoops. So then this is our inventory slot, so it just shows the index of the inventory, and it gets the item ID and how many we have. So this just makes it a singleton. We are using JSON to save. I've never really done that before, but it's good to try some things out. So here we have a string that we save our data to, and then we just write it to that save data path or save file path, which was up there. And then if the loading exists, then we will read all the text from that and then add the data to it, and then it will set the loaded data to that data. Alright, and this is just for when the roadblock scene loads, it will get the player and set the transform and set the seed as well, or get the seed as well. And this just we have an autosave for every 5 minutes, so 300 seconds, and it will just save the game. Alright, so this is our shrine tier generator, or shrine loot generator, sorry. So we have different tiers for our shrines that just depends on what will spawn in each shrine, and according to that it will get different tier loot. And then we have, I believe it's 4 is the maximum locations. Oh no, it's 5. So 5 is the maximum locations per shrine, and then obviously it won't spawn 5 loot things at every shrine. And then our zombie, we've also added the attack function. I don't know if you could hear it, but there was also a sound that played. So on the when it bites, it will play the sound. Alright, yeah, we showed all this. It will chase the player, so it will do the attack loop. So when it attacks, it will play a different sound. And this will update the player's health bar and health itself. This just makes it turn and face the right direction. Checks if it's on the ground. Eventually it will jump around and, be able to chase the player. We're not there yet. Yeah, that's just for debugging purposes. And then we have our place block as well. So in place block, we just get the block that's in our hand, basically, and then we cast the ray from the camera. And once it hits, it checks to see if that is the ground, and then it will place a block on that location and set the scale to 1, because as you can see in our hand, it is a lot smaller. And then it also updates the numbers of the items in the inventory. I also did something in the update as well. Yeah, so this is just getting the first item in the hotbar right now, and then it will instantiate that block into the hand, basically, and then we get the position and all that. Oh yeah, so right now it's just attached to the camera, and then it has to rotate and etc. just so it's in front of the camera properly the whole time. And I set the scale to 0.2. Alright, so let me jump back in there before I send it off to Tejan to show off the crafting part of our Minecraft not Minecraft. So let me just break something. Let me do my monster sky jump. So I broke that and I walk over it. And then you can see here I have 25, it looks, yeah, 25 iron blocks here. And then if I just place one, and then I will hit save and quit. You can see now it's updated to 24 there. And then I'll hit continue, and it's no longer in my inventory. Well, looks like we have a bug somewhere, and that will need to be addressed. Yeah, everything else works perfectly fine. You can definitely see that the player's location saved. All right, now let me send it off to Tejan to talk about the crafting table. Thanks. See ya.
Alright, take two of the inventory and crafting system. So in our crafting, we'll start with our inventory manager. This has our selector, which is this red box here. We have two of these, one for the in-game hotbar, one for the inventory hotbar. We have our starting items, which are just items that we can add to our character to start with. And then our add and remove functions. We can also see the current selected item that we are hovering over. So we have in our canvas, we have our inventory panel, hotbar panel, and then our two selectors, and then our crafting panel, which is just this panel here off to the side. This is a scroll view, and in our viewpoint, in our content, this is where our recipes will go. So we have our crafting manager. This takes in crafting recipes. Right now we have our sword craft and our cobblestone craft, and the reference to our inventory manager. If you wanted to create new crafting recipes, you would just right click, create, crafting, and then recipes. This takes in items, so you would have to make the item that you wanted first, the item data, and then if you go to recipes, you would add in the item, so like you want to make a sword, the amount of swords, and then in the required items, this would just be the items that you would need to make the sword. So like, we'll say wood and iron makes a sword. So you'd need one wood and one iron, which would make one sword. We'll just delete this. We already have a sword, so if we hit play, right, we can see our selector, scroll, open the inventory, we can scroll in here, and then one wood, one iron, which will make a sword. Now we have a sword, and we can put this here. Cool. And then if we close this, you can see the sword is in our inventory now. And if we hit E, and go to our console. It'll just like put out like a debug message like swing sword, that kind of stuff. So our crafting manager, we went over crafting manager, the crafting UI. This just adds those boxes for the crafting recipes to the scroll view, as I was saying earlier, with a recipe button, which is just a basic button with an image and a text for the name. And then in our scripts, we can go over our scripts, inventory, inventory manager. We added the selected item here, so that's just the item that we're currently hovering. This gets the hotbar items and then the selected slot index, and then we call our get item function, which returns items. We have our hotbar selector and our inventory selectors. These are just so we know which current slot we're on. Uh, and then we have our visibility for our two different selectors here. So this will just make it so that we can show each selector when we need the selector. We have our has items function that we added, so we can check which item we have. Our remove items and our add items are similar to the way they were before, just like a few minor tweaks. Pretty much do the same thing. The important thing here is our use selected item, which removes the count of one item when we want to consume an item. That's pretty much all of the changes that we made to the inventory manager. Item scriptable, we added our use functions here, so like currently they are attached to player movement, the callers. So we would use an item, then it would check what item type it is. So if it's like the sword, you use tool, as we saw earlier, it would say swing sword because the tool type is a sword, and then it will display this message. And then we have similar function for our consumable, which here we have use selected, which will then subtract that selected items from our inventory, and our miscellaneous, and then we can add different tool types on top of this. And then we can go over our crafting manager, which is just it checks if we can craft the recipes, our crafting recipes. If it has the required item, required amount. If the player doesn't have it, doesn't have required items, it returns false. If it does, it removes the items from the inventory and then crafts the items and then adds the item to the inventory. Right, so you get the result item and the result amount. And then we can just peek definition. And then this is just our scriptable function for our craftable items, the item amount, required items, the reference to the item scriptable, the result item. And it's pretty much everything. We do have like our toggle system. This just displays, like if we open the inventory, it shows the inventory, hides the hotbar, and then adds the scroll viewer for the inventory hotbar to reduce any form of confusion. We have our null checks. Pretty simple. I believe that's everything for our crafting system slash the inventory updates. Uh, we just have a simple scroll function set up here. So we just get to scroll wheel inputs, and then you can scroll through the items and the currently selected items.
All right, thanks, Tayshawn. So this is our Unity build, WebGL build, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't have functionality because this is a phone game, and this is a internet browser that we're trying to play it on. But you can see it works in OS, and yeah, eventually we'll add some keyboard input for this build, I guess, just so this game can also be played on the internet. But yeah, you can see I can't really do anything. Oh, I guess I can attack the player and my thing can move, but I can't move around at all. Yeah. Anyways, just wanted to show that off, and thanks a lot for watching. See you later.